Hello and welcome to my first look at the brand new Psychic Awakening book called Faith and Fury. This one will cost you £25. All of these kind of campaign type books cost £25. The Blood of the Phoenix book, first Psychic Awakening book, is right here. This is the first one. This is Phoenix Rising, should I say. The third one is up for pre-order very soon, so it hasn't been that long since the second and third books. Be that as it may, I prefer them all in one book and then have the models released sort of separately, especially with the Jane Czar and things. Big time, I'd prefer that. But let's unwrap this and have a look. There's a few things on the back that I want to talk about. Okay. So firstly, on the back, it says Ascension of Humanity, Taladus system. It says a host of auxiliary rules for Space Marines, data sheets and more for the Black Templars, so on. So we'll have a look. There's some Black Templars there, there's some word bearers, absolutely lovely Dark Apostle model, and the Sorcerer will go very well with him too. So join me and grab yourself a cold one and we'll go through the second Psychic Awakening book, Faith and Fury. Let's open the page straight away. Focus here of Sisters of Battle, Primaris and Chaos, and some Cultists and some Terminators. This artwork is in full colour in the new Sisters of Battle Codex, which I have right here on page 40 and 41. So if you wanted to see what it looks like in colour, it's right here. It probably is in colour somewhere in this book. We'll just have to find out, won't we? This book, like I say, £25. It is 95, let's say 96 pages or so, which is actually 16 more pages than the first book. Again, quite interesting. So this is a bigger book. I think it kind of covers more anyway. So we'll go through it page by page. This won't be as long a video as the Sisters of Battle Codex first look. That's the first time I've ever experienced a Sisters of Battle Codex, and all of those things were pretty much new to me, other than in the chapter approved that came out last year, which had a bit of the Sisters of Battle Codex in it. So contents wise, you've got Taladus, so a bit of a background. You've got some missions, Adeptus Astartes, Black Templars, Heretic Astartes, and the Adeptus Astartes you've got different chapter, Ancients, Masters of the Forge, things like that. Black Templars, you've got Heroes of Black Templars, you've got data sheets for High Marshal Helbrecht, Emperor's Champion, Chaplain Grimaldus, Cenobite Servitors and Crusader Squad. Heretic Astartes covers new rules for Word Bearers, Night Lords, Alpha Legion, Iron Warriors, Emperor's Children and World Eaters. So if you're a big Chaos Space Marine fan, this is going to be a great book to accompany your army. So you've got the introduction, you've got this artwork with Marneus Calgar. Looks like he's fighting orcs on a big scale. And you've got Taladus, or Taldus if you want to call it that. You've got Battleground of Faith, Forces of the Taladus Theatre, Seeds of Corruption, and Iron Warriors, Space Marine there. Darkness Descends, Onslaught of Chaos, the Imperium Mobilizes, Salamander's Flamer unit there, Flames of Heresy, Dark Onslaught, Benediction, Miracle of the Saints Wall, Wrath of Iron, Demonic Industry, Forlorn Hope and Ancient Oaths, Screams in the Void, Tears of Agony, Death Hunt and Rise of Terror, Echoes of Awakening. This looks really cool. I like the way they've done that. They've changed, they've kind of changed the font. So you've got your normal font, you've got your handwriting font, and then you've got your data kind of computer font. Missions, Unhallowed Ground, so you've got Theatres of War, Echoes of War, The Stand at Saints' Wall, Underground Incursion, and that's it. Not like 2 missions then. Adeptus Astartes, Masters of the Chapter, so chapter litanies, Master of Sanctity, Master of the Forge, Chief Librarian, Chief Apothecary, Chapter Ancient, Chapter Champion, and then you're into Black Templars. Some pictures of all the models there. So Heroes of the Black Templars, so a little bit of a backstory with them all on like a couple of pages, literally like a couple of pages. Then Zealous Crusaders, so you've kind of almost got a Black Templars codex in a way. Would have liked a separate one, separate supplement, that would have been cool. Oh well. So you've got High Marshal Helbrecht, no new model. There's his data sheet, it's an HQ choice. You've got the Emperor's Champion, absolutely awesome. It's got 2+ normal and a 4+ invulnerable. Back in the day, for a character to have that was insane, and he was quite cheap as well. Now he's at 9 power points. He's still got the black sword. He's got a few different abilities. Chaplain Grimaldus, and then elites you've got Cenobite Servitor, and then troops you've got a Crusader Squad, which includes initiates, neophytes, and sword brothers. You've got litanies of the devout, warlord traits and stratagems, crusade relics and points values, tactical objectives, and a Black Templars name generator. They seem to be doing a lot of these name generators in these kind of faction codexes. So there you go, that's the kind of Black Templars codex at, well, I want to say kind of 12 pages, well 13 pages or so. That's what it is. So if you're a Black Templars player, that is what you've got. You buying this kind of campaign book to get their rules. Heretic Astartes, so you've got Champions of Ruin, you've got some demon weapons, then Word Bearers, fantastic. So you've got some, so you've actually got these kind of chapter Legion rules, which is what I wanted in the Chaos book at the start of the year. I thought that they were missing, and now you've got them. Look, so you've got the stratagems, artifacts of the Word Bearers, tactical objectives, and name generators, and then it goes straight into Night Lord. So you've got the introduction, you've got traits, stratagems, artifacts, tactical objectives, and name generator. And again, the Alpha Legion. You've seen a pattern here. Iron Warriors, and Emperor's Children, and then World Eaters, and that's pretty much it. That is it for the book. It just stopped suddenly. So, you know, lore wise, you've only really got there's not very much at all. It's basically, it could have been covered in a White Dwarf, I'm sure. So from Faith Unbound, from page 6 to page, I miss out some pages, 21. So you've sort of got 15 or so pages, minus the map, so 13, got about 13 pages or so of backstory. It's nowhere near the size and scope of the Shadow Spear book that came out earlier in the year, the Vigilus book. They're much more in depth in terms of lore, planets. They have a load of pages in those. This is a very short supplement, and I really feel like they could have bundled this in with Phoenix Rising into one book, or even with the new Psychic Awakening book as well. Releasing one of these books every month or two for £25. You know, it's nice that they are so up to speed in giving your chapter or your legion a you know, set of warlord traits and stratagems and things. You know, if you are a Black Templars player or collector, this book is brilliant, but I kind of feel like I would have wanted a full-blown supplement, a bit like Imperial Fists. Lore-wise backstory, it's got a little bit less than the Phoenix Rising book. It's got one less mission. You know, this has only got 2 missions and Phoenix Rising got 3. Also, Phoenix Rising book has got a few data sheets too. You know, it's kind of, instead of the Black Templars Codex, it's kind of got the Ennead Codex with the 3 data sheets there and the stratagems. It's also got data sheets for Drazar and the Incubi and the Howling Banshees and Jane Zar. So it's got a fair few data sheets in that one. In this, all of your data sheets are in the sort of Black Templars mini codex, of which there are only 5. So actually less than in the Phoenix Rising. So in terms of like quick content for all your Chaos Space Marine legions, it's kind of got more, because it's got the traits, the stratagems, the artifacts, the tactical objectives, and the name generator, if that's really a thing that you want for every legion. But you've got 6 there for all of those. And then you've got the Black Templars kind of codex, I suppose you want to call it, and a bit of lore, like 13 pages of lore. So I don't think it's fully worth the £25 at all. No way. I think all the 3 books into one book would have been a better decision. I don't like how they've split them all, but it makes sense if you've got a Black Templars army, or if you just collect Chaos, one of these legions, then you can just pick up this book and you can totally ignore the Phoenix Rising book, which just has all of the craft worlds in it. So, you know, for me, I'd like to get the Blood Angels and Tyranid one, just for the Tyranid side of things, but with no new Tyranid models or no new Tyranid data sheets in that book, and to see where the series is going with this one, it's kind of put me off a bit. It's you know, I've lost a bit of momentum and interest. If these books were cheaper, and they had new data sheets and new models to accompany the books, not talking about the Sorcerer because he's already in the Chaos Space Marine Codex, then that would intrigue me a bit more. If the books were bigger, like you know, 200 pages minimum, like Vigilus kind of style books, rather than these shorter ones that only had, I say content, it's mainly got the stratagems and things, then I'd be more tempted in investing a bit more. But you know, for something that was supposed to be as big as the Horus Heresy, or the biggest thing since Horus Heresy, as they hyped it up, I feel a little bit let down so far. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Anyway, what do you guys think of the Psychic Awakening Faith and Fury Book 2? Do you think it's incredible and it's just what you're after? And are you feverishly waiting for the 3rd book with Mephiston and all the Tyranids? Please do put it in the comments below and share it with us all. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Death to the False Emperor.